Welcome to the Root Cause Revolution podcast with functional and integrative nurse nutritionist and energy medicine practitioner, Audrey Christie.
Hey friends, welcome. In today's episode, we're talking about the liver. We're going to talk about what it does, why it's so important, and if you've ever heard that your liver is slow, or your liver needs to detox, or your liver is sluggish, we're going to talk about what that really means, right? So welcome. If you are new here, I'm Audrey. I'm a root cause clinician specialized in helping women stop masking symptoms and start healing from chronic and autoimmune issues. I work with so many people. Most of the time I work with people who have tried it all and still aren't the level of health and wellness that they desire. So we work together using a non-traditional approach, including naturopathy, functional nutrition, integrative medicine, functional wellness, and energy medicine. I specialize in helping you start your own root cause revolution so you can rebalance your body and heal for good. So if you're done with Band-Aids and you're ready for real solutions, I can help. So let's dive into the liver. What the heck is it? What does it do? Sometimes I forget that not everyone knows exactly where and what their liver is and what it does, because I have done this for so long. It seems like it is something that everyone should know, right? And it's not. Most people don't know. But the liver is the largest organ in your body. And since football season's just around the corner, or actually I think preseason started last night, I'll compare your liver to that. Your liver hanging out on the right side of your body, just on the other side of your spleen, is about the size of a football in an adult. It's a really big organ compared to the rest of the organs in your body. And for good reason, really. It's really one of the hardest working organs in our body. It works around the clock to detoxify our blood, to produce the bile that we need to digest fatty foods, to break down hormones, and to store vitamins and minerals. It's actually the liver's job to process all the nutrients absorbed by the intestines so that your body can use them efficiently. That's why we say it's not about necessarily what you can eat. It's about, or not just about the food you eat, it's what you can digest and absorb. The liver also has the responsibility, if you will, the job description is included in its job description, is regulating our body's blood composition so that protein, fat, and sugar are balanced. It also removes toxins from the blood, and it breaks down things like alcohol and medication and even your supplements. Now, if we flip it to the energy side of things, your liver is responsible for the smooth flow of energy through your body. It's your powerhouse. It's governed by your solar plexus chakra, and that's really the seat of your personal power. I find frequently that it is clinically underactive, which impacts your liver's ability to process all the things your body brings to it. So let's talk about some of the signs. What are the signs that your liver is sluggish? Your liver needs to detoxify. So if you aren't taking care of your liver, some of these things begin to slip. And the way we don't take care of our liver is by giving it too much work to do, right? And when we do that, things aren't, well, two ways. We give it too much work to do, and we have a underactive digestive system. So things like constipation can also cause the liver to struggle. But when we overload the liver begins to be unable to process all of the things we talked about efficiently. And it starts out slow. And then eventually, if it's not addressed, you begin to notice outward symptoms. So most of the time, my clients and patients don't even realize that the root of whatever their cluster of symptoms is the liver, because sometimes those signs are really kind of subtle. And sometimes those signs are common, even though they're not normal, right? So you're just kind of gabbing and everyone has those same annoying symptoms. And sometimes they're just so subtle that you don't realize it's the liver until the liver has progressed from sluggish to something more serious. Now, the signs that your liver needs to detox or is sluggish can really vary pretty widely from person to person. It can be things like skin issues, eczema, acne, psoriasis. It could be things like hormone issues. It could be cholesterol and triglyceride issues, either elevated or below normal limits. Almost everyone with a thyroid problem has a sluggish liver. Some people manifest liver problems as trouble losing weight. Another sign that your liver needs to detox is that your body isn't handling things like medication or alcohol or supplements like it used to. You're more sensitive. On kind of the energetic side of things, liver trouble shows up when the liver energy has a weak flow or is obstructed. And we show that shows up with anger, frustration, depression. Sometimes it's a feeling of being wound up, wound too tight, wired but tired. And sometimes this manifests as additional physical symptoms like hypochondriac style pain, a sensation of oppression or heaviness in the chest, a feeling of a lump in the throat, or even some bloating and distension in the abdomen, the abdominal area. So just kind of a culmination of these signs: fatigue, weakness, confusion or trouble concentrating, weight changes, loss of appetite, digestive troubles, bloating, gas, pain in the abdomen, easy bruising, excessive sweat, hot flashes, waking up, particularly between the 2 and 4 a.m. hours, dry, dark patches on the neck or under the arms, swelling in the legs and ankles, skin issues, like I mentioned, acne, psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis, all of these things. One of these things or all of these things are all signs of a sluggish liver. So let's talk about what causes these kind of problems. I mentioned a couple of them at the top of the episode, but really the root causes can be vast and different, as vast as the symptoms. And sometimes it's a toxin like a heavy metal, a copper or aluminum, or an exposure like barium that you may have been exposed to that can cause these troubles. Sometimes it's a mold or other toxin exposures. Luckily, there are simple at-home tests to find out. If you think this might be you, we can totally test those things. You can get a virtual consult, a mini case review right on the show notes, wherever you're listening to this episode. I have all those links there for you. And we can find out what direction. Is it your liver? Is it something else? What direction do we need to go to find out those root causes? Sometimes the sluggish liver is a result of a virus like Epstein-Barr or mono or Lyme disease or some other co-infection. And I mean, there are so many environmental toxins that occur in our homes, places of work, food supplies. It's possible, it's almost impossible really not to have something taxing the liver. It's really, really important for our general health as well as our energy and drainage systems to keep the liver functioning properly. And then lastly, sometimes liver troubles are caused by things that you put into your body voluntarily, right? Like the type of food, supplements, and medications you consume, or what you put your body through, like diet culture habits, like losing too much weight too fast. It's often not sustainable. It's often done by severely restricting and depriving yourself, which leads to malnutrition and further slows your liver and metabolism down. Now, interestingly, often people go see their doctor for liver issues and they're either put on medication or told to lose weight, both which further tax the liver. If you think your liver troubles have solely an energetic cause, then we need to look at anger, at overcompetitiveness, at a refusal to forgive. You can test these things easily with energy testing, and that's something very simple that we can do together in an appointment. Once we find out what's wrong with your liver, now for the good stuff, right? How to fix it. You can fix your liver flow problems and you end up feeling increased energy levels. You have clearer skin. You have a more regulated menstrual cycle and a reduction in PMS. People often think that PMS is normal, and it's not normal. It is common, but it is not normal. If you're having cramps and weird flow and a lot of premenstrual syndrome symptoms, then there's something to look at there. Probably the liver, maybe some other things. You can have fewer infections. You can have a stronger immune system. You'll have less digestive complaints. You have fresher breath and oral health, which is always nice. And then, of course, you can't beat having a better, a sharper mind and a more positive mood. Now we'll talk about some foods to support your liver drainage, but I have a few specific recommendations. The liver is a key part in what we call the drainage funnel. At the bottom of the funnel is the colon. Then just above the colon is the liver and bile ducts. Just above that is the lymphatic system. Just above that is organs and tissues. And just above that is the cells. So you can think of that in a funnel, right? If your colon isn't working optimally, if you're not having 2 well-formed bowel movements a day that aren't pebbles and aren't diarrhea, then that part of the funnel is blocked. So if the colon is blocked, then all all the other things I mentioned, liver, lymphatics, organs, cells above that are also unable to detox appropriately and be, they are essentially blocked. Well, the same thing goes for your liver. If your colon's working fine, but your liver's not, then lymphatics, organs and tissues and cells are blocked, right? So liver is a really key part of your drainage pathway. And making sure your drainage pathways are open and moving is the first step in any healing journey, whether it's weight loss, chronic illness, autoimmune disease, and it is the only way to get your body to detox properly. So what we're talking about here today is really just the liver portion of that. Now, I have a little program on my website. I'll link it in the show notes right here in the app, wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can grab the Drainage and Energy 101 course. It's the first phase of healing, and get started on your own healing journey with that. But let's also talk about foods that you can do right now to help support your liver. Now, restricting just isn't a fun or healthy place for the most part. You always have to restrict things that you are sensitive to or allergic to, right? But for this, let's talk about what can we add. So first of all, you're adding all the fruits and veggies. Bring on all the leafy greens, all the cruciferous veggies, and all the grasses. So chlorella, barley, wheatgrass, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, all of those things really work well to help drive toxins out of the liver. And toxins like heavy metals, carcinogens, all of those things. And they work to increase antioxidants. Fruits like berries, bananas, melons, they help to provide a really good balance of electrolyte minerals, including magnesium, calcium, and potassium. Additionally, you want to bring on the herbs, right? Things like turmeric, coriander, parsley, cilantro, raw garlic, and oregano. You can simply just use these liberally in your food. You want to make sure that you are using organic versions of it. If you use the essential oil version, you can do that topically or aromatically. If you juice, you can add them to your juices. Adding cilantro to your juice is a beautiful thing to do for your liver. And we can add them supplementally, right? But it's always better when you have it in the whole food form. These herbs specifically are really good at balancing your body and boosting glutathione production and lowering inflammation, right? So it's really, really beneficial to help improve circulation, fight toxin buildup, balance the body's pH, increase digestive enzymes, and help to heal your liver. Lastly, I just want to touch on what kind of energy medicine can help a sluggish liver. So you can do a couple of things. You can strengthen your liver meridian by flushing your neurolymphatic points. You can practice forgiveness in your meditations, or start a meditation practice if you don't have one already. You can massage the acupressure points on the feet for clearing your liver, and those are found at the V, where your big toe meets the second toe on top of the foot at the base of the metatarsal bridge. So simply massage that area, just the top of your foot between your big toe and your second toe, right where kind of those toes meet the skin of the foot. You'll massage right there with good pressure on both feet several times a day. If you notice it's tender, that means you need it, so keep going. You can also hold firm pressure on the liver strengthening points. You find those on the inside of the knees. Touch there and see if it's tender, and also on the outsides of the wrists. So you can touch there and see if it's tender as well. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of the importance of your liver, of taking care of your liver. And the most excellent news is that no matter how damaged your liver may be, no matter how slow, it can heal given the proper tools and the proper fuel. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember that I am always listening and I'm always rooting for you, friends. So for sure, reach out if you need help.
Thank you for listening to the Root Cause Revolution podcast. Be sure and subscribe on your favorite podcast provider. Ratings and reviews are always appreciated.